Hello, welcome to your astrological vibrations for Wednesday, July 26th, 2023 by Gaia Blooming. I'm Mimi, and our energy mantra for today is I speak words of love into being. So, today, in the unfolding, we have a Mercury-focused yod joining the Venus-focused yod. Shenanigans afoot. But let me review yod. Everybody's like, but what is yod? The simplest thing I can say about yod is it's like a neon sign in the sky being like, this is important. Yod means hand of God. And I would say it's the hand of God. It's the hand of fate at work. So Joe has a yod. Both times Joe was in the hospital this last year, the yod was being activated by Uranus. Uranus was sitting on the focal point of his yod. I would say we got some pretty Uranus-y experiences in and through it. However, it was fate. It was acts of God, acts of the universe, working to shift some things, right? That's what's happening for us as the collective right now, with both Venus and now Mercury being the focal point of these two other energies. So the two other energies are Pluto in Capricorn at 29 degrees, that master degree, that final degree that has a lot of oomph, a lot of weight to it, and then Neptune in Pisces. So both Pluto and Neptune are very fated planets as well. Pluto to me is where we are meant to tap into karma, but I feel like Pluto has a list. Pluto has a list of things that we need to look at, that we need to empower ourselves through, where we need to look at our shadow in order to get to the empowerment place. So Pluto's kisses on our lips. I don't know. I have so many songs going through my head right now. This is what happens when Leo and Pisces season both very strongly bring out the songs in me. So Pluto's kisses on our lists. Those places where we need to look at those shadows. And Neptune, especially in Pisces. Pisces is already fated. Pisces is already very karmic. Pisces already tunes us into past lives. And then we take Neptune and add to it. So this yod work that we are doing right now is for multiple layers, multiple lifetimes, multiple dimensions, multiple time, space, places. And our work is to bring love. Now, with Venus, we've been asked to bring the love into our life. How can you nurture? How can you care for yourself? How can you be good to your inner child? How can you spread love around in and through your relationships? How can you make love a priority? How can you value love? But here we have Mercury, and Mercury's like, can I speak more love into existence? I don't know if we can speak more love into existence. I feel like love is infinite and finite all at once. But can we bring it down? Can we ground it? Can we vibrate it around us more? 100%. And so that's, to me, the calling. And this is part of the fate that is helping to shift the world. Now, I look and, wow, there's a lot of things getting our attention. There's a song. There's somebody who faked abduction, wars, mayhem, drama. It is very dramatic out there right now. And I'm not saying none of these things have importance, but wow, it's a lot of distraction from having us speak words of love. Now, it's always interesting because I do believe that the powers that be know what's happening in astrology, because you just watch how these things happen, and some of these things are orchestrated to work with it, which means we have to work with the power, the good, the divinity unfolding in this. And so this is the call. How can you vibrate the energy of love more in your life? Sing the songs, speak the words, talk it into being, bring it forth. This yod is saying that. Now, you may also have to bring love to other spaces, times, places that you have been in one time or another. what is time anyway, to help shift the overall. So just keep that in mind as you are going about your business. That being said, there may be even more shenanigans that want to make you feel like, watch out for the shenanigans. Mercury finishing up in Leo, being a part of this yod, holy shenanigans. We also have Pluto winding up its 29-degree transit, preparing to go back to 28 degrees, still yachting at this point. That's not going to change the yachtiness of anything. But the yods, they are basically like yods right now. The nodes are also preparing to go visit that 28 degree. And so again, we have this Pluto, it's Pluto, nodal, it's Pluto squares, opposed to poodle squares. Poodle skirts, who knows where we're going with this. But these squares have people on edge, and the littlest thing can set you off. But what if it sets you off deeper into love? What if that is the intention, that everything that I say, do, speak is going to come from love? Just hold that space and see how that can work for you. Now, through this whole time I've been doing this, like I said, I've been having songs going through. The song Words of Love by the Mamas and the Papas has been playing in my head through this. This is not words of love to manipulate. This is true love. This is real love. It doesn't have to be romantic love. But just keep that in mind. This isn't false niceness. It's not false sweetness. It's real. So recognize that in yourself too. And notice if you're tempted to go into the fake love. Maybe that's part of this shift, and part of this ultimate empowerment is recognizing, I mean, is there even such a thing as fake love? But like love to get something that's not really actually love, right? So watch for that. Speaking of what's your motivation, Moon in Scorpio will see right through that. So we have the Moon in Scorpio starting the day by connecting to Mars, sextile with Mars in Virgo. Mars in Virgo, a call to that wholeness, holiness, a call to keep showing up for yourself. As you are in service to yourself, you will ultimately be in service to the whole. Keep that in mind. How can you, again, empower yourself? This is where we make the shift. It's time to make a change, right? I'm looking at the man in the mirror. My next song that I'm hearing. The Moon in Scorpio is also going to do a little dance, a little opposition work with Jupiter. Jupiter in Taurus. So watch for those old nodal experiences. Mahalo is still supporting us. So a friend a long time ago got me this mug. And before he left, Mahalo knocked it down. Like he's been preparing me. I found a picture on my phone today from June 13th, and I remember taking it being like, might be one of my last like Mahalo in action pictures. So anyway, just knocked down my hairbrush and hit my little Mahalo mug that's sitting here. So with a little tuft of Mahalo fur in it. Memories. Anyway, the Moon in Scorpio, Jupiter in Taurus energy will remind us of where the nodes were. So fear versus pleasure, fear versus abundance, survival versus trust. And that brings us to the trust card. Can you trust in this unfolding? And can you bring your joyful vision to this unfolding? That being said, there's some stuff we all have to work through that doesn't feel good. And a lot of it is mental. It's the mental mayhem. I have mental mayhem, so much mental mayhem that I'm always working on reprogramming. I have to say the last several years have been so much survival stuff that it can be really hard to pull myself out of that. You know, it can be hard to pull away from like, oh my God, what's the next shoe? And yet here I am even laughing after Mahalo left, you know? We can get through these things with joy in our hearts. And this is a call to recognize that and move through that and recognize what we build with that. Look at both of these figures are doing almost the same thing, reaching for the light, reaching for the goodness, trusting in that. But there's parts of ourselves that are kind of stuck in the old, and that's okay. We all have those places 100%. Recognize it so that you can work through it and not get stuck there and not keep recycling those mental programs, because I'm telling you, your mental energy right now is so focused and so strong and so powerful with this yod, and Spirit's like, use it for good. So that's it for today. I want to mention I got these little things, speaking of using it for good, to ward off mosquitoes. I was watering my neighbor landlord's plants. These do not work. So I'm using my voice for good to tell you, at least for me, these did not work. So that's not your product if you're looking for something to get away from the mosquitoes. Besides that, you can book a reading with me. I can give you more reviews of things. The better it gets, the better it gets. There's more than enough love in the world for you. You have the power, and remember who you are. You are love. Namaste.